What's poppin', y'all? Welcome back to I Do It Myself. I am Wayno. If this is your first time here, welcome. If you like what it is that I do, make sure that you hit that sub button and run them likes up. Today, we going through this JackBoys 2 album. Now, y'all know last week, we did the live stream. You know what I'm saying? We did the live stream. We did the first listen episode. And we went through somewhat of it. I gave myself some time because I ain't gonna front. On the first live listen, wasn't really connecting with me like that. One of the reasons I will say that too, though, is when I'm streaming, them headphones I got is gaming headphones. So they don't project like the music to me how the mix sounds, because listening to the music in those headphones versus listening to the music in earpods is two different worlds. Same with the clips. When I listen to, you know what I mean, let God sort them out, it was so many songs that, like, don't get me wrong, it was sounding fire on the headphones, but at the same time, when I listen to them in my earpods, totally different world. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna work on getting me some better gaming headphones, because I do play the game on my PC, and we'll go from there. But let's go through this JackBoys 2 album. Let's just paint the picture. I'm gonna tell you the likes off the bat. What I like about this album is Bun B narrating. I think that Bun B narrating is needed. I felt like it was classy. I felt like I got some history lessons. I love the fact that he was talking about how things were going in his day when he was the hottest, him and Pimp C. You know what I mean? They was telling stories about life and real shit going on and danger. It was a lot. It wasn't a lot. It was like perfectly placed. That's how I feel. I feel like everything he did was perfectly placed, right? So we get the intro. Then we get Champaign and VACAY. And that's the song where he responds or says something to the degree of how he felt regarding Pusha T. I made 100 pushing T's. Now my phone on D&D. Trash, but I like the song. Not talking about the bars, because listen, we all know, bro, that you can't dance on the same floor as no Pusha T when it comes to rapping. So you could have left that alone. But I do like the Waka Flocka. The Waka Flocka ad-libs, you can never go wrong with those, because the Waka Flocka ad-libs just paints a picture to me of time. Like when you hear Waka, you think about the early 2010s. Blog era, mixtape era was still going at that time. Mixtape era kind of, people still put out mixtapes, but I don't even know how people view projects, mixtapes, albums anymore from the youth. But at that time, 2010, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, even up to 16, mixtapes still mattered a whole lot, and a lot came out of that. So it's really reminiscent of some golden era times, if I say, right? Then you get the 2000 Excursion. I like 2000 Excursion. Song, I'm not a fan of all the beat switches, but I do like 2000 Excursion, right? And if you know anything about the Excursion, that was the Ford big extra truck. I'm showing my age right now. Never mind me. All right. Kick Out. I like Kick Out as well. 21 Savage ad-libs. You know what I'm saying? Good song. We in a good space. Then we get the Dumbo. Dumbo. Yeah, I said it. Yeah. Like Dumbo just was like, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Then we get to MM3 with Sofago. So one thing I'm not never going to lie about is this. I know that Sofago's music is not necessarily for me. That don't mean that I don't listen to young artists, because I got a list of young artists that I do like their music. You know what I'm saying? And all of their music is not just conscious rap. I like rappers that just rap about anything sometimes, like everybody else has done all through time. Now, we love the substance, but there is people who don't be saying shit. And MM3 that's for the young ones, right? Then you get the Velour, right? And I'll say this, Sheck West. Sheck West, kind of got kicked out of the game a bit. I'll say kicked out visually, because I don't know what he does behind the scenes. But he always was still modeling and all of that. But when he went through some stuff with, you know, his former girlfriend and all of that, was accused of domestics, people was making it quiet for him after Mo Bamba. You know what I'm saying? So he dropped the Mud Boy tape. Mud Boy tape had like 1 or 2 on it. To me, it didn't really like go where I thought Sheck West was gonna go when he made Mo Bamba. So it kind of got quiet for him. But I say Sheck West redeems himself on this album, right? But Velour, me personally, I could pass on Velour. Now Contest, another one I could pass on, right? And my thing about this album is, for me to like Travis Scott's music, There is Travis Scott music on here. You know what I mean? That is decent, but by Travis Scott standards, when he does these solo records, they're throwaways for me. They throwaways for me. You know what I'm saying? Like that. I just think that he's not putting enough emphasis into these songs, and rightfully so, right? You're always gonna save the best shit for yourself. Cool. But if Travis Scott does a song, I expect the song to be a certain way from him, a certain way for him, because I'm not listening to Travis Scott to hear the best bars. You know what I'm saying? I'm listening for production and I'm listening for energy. But let's carry on. And I'm gonna tell you this. This album does hit in the gym. So let's get there. You know what I mean? This album does hit in the gym. Few skips for me though. Now, this is where things kind of pick up for me, right? And like I said, Sheck West redeems itself on ILMB. I Love My Bitch, right? It's more of a Sheck West song featuring Travis Scott, right? But it's one of my favorite songs on here. This is a song that I ran back a few times, right? Now we go to Where Was You? So Where Was You is him, Playboy Cardi, and Future. After type shit, like, I'm spoiled. You know what I'm saying? They did type shit together. You know what I mean? Future, Travis, and Cardi. That is through the roof. For my standard, for them, after type shit, doesn't hit the same mark. Decent song, not crazy about it. I could listen to it in the car or listen to it in the gym, but honestly, I'm not turning this song on necessarily, right? And that's only because I feel like by Travis Scott standards. No comments. Don Toliver, like this song. Said it before, say it again. Don Toliver is one of my favorite artists. I don't think that he gets the credit that he deserves. I wouldn't call him underrated. Because I feel like musically, he's everything you want in an artist. You know what I'm saying? Is Don Toliver somebody that's going to give you a bunch of bars? No, it's not about bars. It's more singing, melody, you know what I'm saying, and concept. But this is a good joint, no comments. Then you get Beep Beep. Pass, all the way pass. Travis Scott side, baby, all the way pass for me. PBT. Travis, Tyler, and Vybz Kartel. Very, very dope song. Very, very dope record. Enjoyed it all the way through. I think that, I mean, we still got 2 more weeks basically left in the summer. They should have this. This should be their radio song or whatever if they gonna push this album. If not, who cares? Then you get to Shine. They called it Shine because I kept trying to figure out what was the sample. It was Bad Boy by Shine, but Barrington Levy. So if you grew up like myself, if your family is West Indian, my mom's side of the family is West Indian. We from Montserrat, Jamaica, and a few from Trinidad, you know what I mean? But primarily Montserrat. But if you know about Barrington Levy and you grew up like myself in the Bronx up on 225th Street, then you, like myself, my godmother was playing Barrington Levy. My mom was playing Barrington Levy. My aunt was playing Barrington Levy. I grew up in a predominantly Jamaican neighborhood, so we have a certain type of affinity when it comes to Barrington Levy and reggae. You know what I mean? I grew up on songs like Greetings from Jah by Half Pint. You know what I'm saying? All types of them songs, right? This is a, for pun intended, travesty. This shit is horrible. It's horrible. I mean, I get why they named it Shine, but butchering Barrington Levy's signature sound, I'm not even going to try to replicate it myself. But when Glorilla did it, it's like, yo, bro, come on.
He knew that I swatted them kids so fast that the fuck around put out an Amber Alert. Don't ask me about no hoe I used to fuck with. I don't got none to say. My only regret is being too young to fuck Matthew McConaughey. Yeah, bitch, Matthew McConaughey. Wobbity wiggity, wobbity wiggity, wobbity wiggity.
This is the point where it's like trolling meets music. And I hope that when they heard that shit, they wasn't like, yo, that's hard. Yo, that's hard. Like, I hope they wasn't nobody saying that. That's all I'm going to say about that song. Outside can pass. NBA Youngboy delivers a decent verse. I could pass on that. Can't Stop. I could pass on that as well. And then Florida Flow. I could pass on that, but Kodak has a decent verse. So the time has come for us to rate this. And you know how we do ratings over here, right? You know how we do ratings. Beef patties, right? We do them in beef patties. I'm going to rate this album, JackBoys 2, overall, 2.5 beef patties. Yes, 2.5. On a good day, maybe 3, but ultimately 2.5. I think it should have been way shorter. You know what I mean? The last JackBoys album was shorter than this, I believe. Let's take a look at it for a second. The last JackBoys album, that came out. No, that joint, yeah, 7 songs, short and sweet. You had Gotti by Pop Smoke and Travis. Rest in peace, Pop Smoke. His birthday was yesterday. You know, happy, B-Day. He would have been 26 today. A star got taken away from us. But you had bangers on this joint. You know what I mean? You had the Out West joint with Thug, which was a big viral record, end up being a big TikTok record or whatever. But you had joints on here. You know what I mean? 7 songs, kept it short and sweet. I wish they would have kept it short, you know what I mean, on this one as well, because I just feel like this album is just too long and drawn out. I get the fact that on a compilation, though, because I worked on compilations back in my day with the state properties and being around diplomats when they did diplomatic immunity. And those is the opportunities and the times for the artist that's coming up next to shine so that they could get themselves going. So I get it. You know what I mean? So Fago, his fan base always got a problem with him, but he's on there a few times, so I get them. Sheck West is on there a few times, so I get they trying to kind of bring him back to the forefront of the fold. You know what I mean? And they got they compilation songs with the, they collab songs, excuse me, not compilation songs, collab songs with the Futures and the Cardis and all that. I just feel like the album, if it's condensed, instead of being 17, if it's like a solid 10, you know what I mean? You might get something closer to 4 beef patties if you had a solid 10, if you took out a lot of them songs in that Pusha T rebuttal or whatever. But y'all let me know how y'all feel about this JackBoys 2 album. You feel me? They sold 232,000, and y'all seen on the last episode how I felt about that regarding merch bundles versus, pure sales or listens that equivalent to sales, because it's all crazy. I don't even know how this shit goes. But can't down them for selling 252 or 232, whatever is the final number, and then salute other people who do the same exact thing. So salute to the JackBoys, the whole, they whole team and regime. Good work on their part by getting the album out, but next time, cut that shit down, bro. Cut that shit down. I don't think they make music. The music that they make is not built for long form, meaning 17 songs. Travis Scott can make an album that's 17 songs, but putting them all together, keep it from 8 to 10. You know what I mean? This is I do it myself. For the ones that rock with me, know how we do. And for the ones that don't, eventually you will. I catch you on the next one. Peace.